Hi girls, it's Kiara reporting on cycle day 9 on Monday, July 23rd. It is so good to be back on Project Bib. I'm so happy to be posting an updated video as to how I've been this past 1 month and 2 days since I've last vlogged. So really happy to be back on. I just wanted to let you girls know that you girls are always in my heart. You girls are always in my thoughts. Because I know that I've been MIA these past couple of weeks. And I've got so many videos to catch up on and so many messages to respond back to or emails to write back to. And you girls, even though I'm not writing back to you right away, I will be responding back to you girls. But do know that I'm always with you girls. I'm always here. It's just life can be crazy sometimes, and dealing with this infertility can really put you in a funk, and that's where I found myself during my last cycle, which was supposed to be a rest cycle, and it wasn't a rest cycle. I was supposed to come back feeling refreshed emotionally and physically and mentally from my previous, my second failed IUI, and I didn't. Instead, it was the opposite. But don't get me wrong, there were some great things that I did during this month. I had a chance to have a great weekend away with two of my safe girls in New York City. We had a blast. We walked the Brooklyn Bridge. We saw some great art and photography galleries. We ate some really great food, indulged in some really great wine, and it was so nice to be with my safe girls. Great time. And then 2 weekends ago, Jason was off-site again in business, but this time he was in Atlanta, Georgia. So of course I tagged along, and we had a really great time, and it was so great to visit 2 other great American cities, and I'm thankful for that. However, when I was on these trips, it was so hard for me not to think about the infertility, my infertility, and it's something that I wanted to challenge myself during the beginning of my rest cycle, to just live in the moment, be happy where you are at that day, to experience life and everything around you, and I couldn't. It's like I had that infertility dark cloud just above my head, just kind of looking down and just making me so sad and so angry. I was so angry that my body failed the second round of IUI. I had 5 to 7 follicles, and I was so angry with my body that it failed. I was so frustrated with my body. I was frustrated that I have this disease. And it's just, it's a disease that is making having children a challenge. And it's not easy for me, and it's not going to be easy for me. So I had a lot of issues this past month and frustration with my body. I'm so confused with my body. I don't know if this makes sense, girls, but I was also feeling very down the fact that I felt this past rest cycle that I wasn't part of I guess what I'm trying to say is, this past cycle I was overcome with a lot of feelings as to me not feeling like a functioning woman. And I'm hoping that this makes sense, and I'm hoping that you girls will be like, oh my God, Kiara, I totally understand what you're saying. This is how I felt. I felt like I'm a woman, I've got these organs, these amazing reproductive organs that create life, that, we as women, our job is to be strong and equal to men in career life and, everything else, right? But we also have this gift to create life in us and to carry a child. And I just felt like I didn't feel like a functioning woman. I felt like when I'd go outside in the real world and I'd see these pregnant women, it was almost like I wasn't part of them. That I don't have the power or that kind of magic that these women who have or are pregnant that can create life without any problems or assistance. I just felt kind of separated from these women. And I've been feeling like I was telling one of my safe girls, I was like, you know what, girl, I don't feel like a woman. I feel like if I were to fill out a questionnaire, well, I wouldn't check off that I was a male because I'm not a male, but I wouldn't check off if I was a female because I don't feel like a functioning woman. I feel like I'm trying to create life, but I'm just having some problems creating it, and I don't feel like I'm a woman. I was joking. I was basically saying I feel asexual. So if you girls feel this way, please write a comment or message me saying, you know what, girl, yeah, I don't feel like a functioning woman sometimes, and it's so important, girls, to feel like a woman, because when I feel like that, my confidence levels just is so low, and I need to gain those confidence levels back. And so that was basically my rest cycle, was basically me just hating myself, hating that I'm having problems creating life, hating the fact that I have this disease, and hating the fact that I'm so disappointed with my body. So with that, it just caused a lot of sadness and a lot of frustration. And I'm trying to, and with that, on top of that, I just didn't take care of myself physically. I didn't even exercise, and exercise is so important, for us. We have to be healthy, girls, because if we're not healthy, we're already having problems, trying to conceive or TTCing, and it's just like we need to love ourselves and we need to love our body. And I can honestly say to you girls that I did not love myself and I did not love my body during this rest cycle. Instead, I ate shitty. Yes, I indulged in some amazing food in New York City and when I was in Atlanta, that's fine. But when I came home, I was such in a rut. I was still probably feeling the high levels of estrogen. The hormones are off balance. I was just really low, and I was low on myself. And I feel like a failure sometimes. I feel like I just failed by not being a woman. And with that, I was emotionally eating. I was eating crap. I wasn't exercising. And my endo this past month came back in full force. So for me, it was painful intercourse, painful bowel movements. That's when I'm going pee and I'm going number 2 and it stings or it burns. These are some of the side effects that I felt with my disease, with endometriosis. I have had headaches. I've had bloating. I have had just the being off balance with my emotions. I'm totally breaking out. This is me not loving my body, and this is me just going through so much shit and eating a lot of crap that it takes a toll on my body, and it's like the endo is attacking it, and I feel it. So right now, I don't feel the best. I feel like crap. But I guess if anything, I just want to let you girls know that, and I have to tell myself that we need to love ourselves because, for example, Jason can say to me, you know, you're a beautiful woman, you're going to have this baby one day, and when you have been struck with infertility as a woman, it's almost like you start to lose hope. And that this past month, I was starting to lose hope and faith that this would happen for me. And I can't lose that hope. And infertility is not going to ruin my life. It ruined my past month, and with me trying to just enjoy this time off, but it's not going to control me. And in order for me to do that, I need to take care of my body. I need to take care of my my mental state. So, meditating, or just whatever you girls do, if it's praying or meditating or just trying to be in the now, we really need to take care of our bodies. So, and I didn't do this past cycle, which is unfortunately because I feel like I lost a precious month. So anyways, I'm at 11 minutes already. So let me bring you girls up to speed as to how I've been and where I am at today. Jason and I met with our fertility doctor last Wednesday, July 18th. Now this appointment that we had with our doctor last week was scheduled 3 months ago when we first visited the clinic and we started doing our treatments. So basically, if 3 rounds of IUI was unsuccessful, we were meeting with the doctor on July 18th to discuss our next steps. But it's kind of all wonky because really I've only done 2 rounds of IUI because I had to take a rest cycle because of high levels of estrogen that were found in my system. So, but we still kept the appointment with the doctor because I just had some concerns as to why that round of IUI didn't work. And we met with the doctor, and I basically requested to have an HSG test performed on me. Now, if you can recall, I've had a sonohysteogram performed on me, which is a less invasive procedure where they inject saline into you, so through your tubes to see if the tubes are blocked, and it also kind of washes out or kind of goes through the uterus as well to see if you have any polyps or cyst. That procedure with the saline went really, really well. It looked like the tubes were clear or not blocked, and that the uterus didn't have any cysts or fibroids growing in that area. I was really happy about that, and that was about 3 months ago. But here's the thing, is that the reason why my doctor recommended the procedure with the saline instead of the dye is because I have stage 4 endo, and my doctor feared that if we did the dye test, it would cause infection and inflammation in those reproductive organs, which attacks those areas when you have endometriosis. So basically, the appointment when we saw her last week, I requested to have an HSG test done. And the reason why I requested it is because the HSG test gives you a more exact reading if your tubes are blocked or not. Yes, the saline went through my tubes, but it doesn't give the doctor a clearer picture. So I requested it, and so they were like, okay, that's fine, no problem. The reason why I requested it was because it's almost coming up to a year of my surgery, and it's been 3 months since I've had the sonohysteogram. Who knows what's happening with my endo? I do know that the endo is coming back because I am feeling the types of pains that I mentioned earlier in this video. So, she was totally fine about it, and she requested that I have the HSG test done today. So I'll get back to that shortly. And then we did briefly talk about what would happen if I took the HSG test, and so if my tubes were blocked, or if it showed a clearer picture of my tubes being blocked, then obviously IVF is the only option. But if it showed that the dye goes through the tubes and they're clear, then Jason and I agreed that we would do one more round of IUI, so our third and final round of IUI. And then if that's a bust, we would start talking about IVF. So today I actually had my HSG test performed, and the good news is that my tubes are not blocked. So I was really happy about that. So basically, I missed the mark to do Clomid and another round of IUI this cycle. So I'm going to do another rest cycle this month, and then the next cycle that's coming up. So I'm scheduled to get my period August 12th. So next month I'll start another round of Clomid and my third final round of IUI. I have been prescribed 75 milligrams of Clomid. They've lowered my dose to 75. The last round of IUI, I was prescribed 100 milligrams, but because basically I got overstimulated with that amount, 100 milligrams. So she's lowered it to 75, and we're going to go from there. So yes, this is another rest cycle for me. I did not want to do the HSG test and have crazy Clomid in me at the same time. I just did not want that. So I basically, Jason and I, we decided that this would be another rest month for us. Of course, we will baby dance, but I'm not going to put any pressure on myself. And I'm going to challenge myself to get that loving, that confidence back in me this cycle. I'm not going to waste another month and just feel sorry for myself, feel sad, feel like I'm not a woman, when you know what? I am a woman. I have a lot of amazing things and traits in me, and there's no reason for me to feel so upset that I've been struck with infertility. Yes, it's a long road, but you know what? I'm not going to waste another month. I did that last month and I feel like shit. I'm not myself. I'm just emotionally a hot mess. So that's where I am at today. Good news is that I requested the HSG test. I wanted to make sure that, you know what? I want to know what's functioning in my body and what's not. So the tubes looked fine, the uterus looked fine, and so basically with me, it appears that the endo seems to just attack my ovaries, and with that, I need to be very careful. And with having endometriosis, having a very good, healthy diet, and I know with PCOS and all these other stuff that we go through, women who are dealing with infertility, diet is so important, but it's so hard because I'm an emotional eater and I'll eat like crap when I'm feeling like crap. And infertility doesn't make you feel good about yourself. So that's where it stands today. There's so, like I said, so this will be a rest cycle, but I will be doing more vlogs. I'm not going to be waiting another month to do a vlog and update you girls. I am going to be watching or catching up on all of your videos and being there for you girls. I cannot stress that this is such an important community for us, and we need to be there for one another. We need to be there when someone's not feeling like a woman, and be like, you know what, girl? You are a woman and you will have that baby and it will work for us. We need to be there when we're upset. We need to be there when we are successful, we have BFPs, and we need to just share in this journey with equal love and just so much love and happiness for each other when we're thriving or, being there when we're not receiving the best of news. So that's it. That's my update. Performed an HSG test today. The tubes are clear. And, at first I was kind of like, even though I'm really happy that my tubes are clear, and this is how infertility plays with the mind. I was just like, well, they're clear, but that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that that when I have endo and the egg is released, that, that leftover endo is not a good environment for an egg to survive. Like, I can just drive myself crazy. But you know what? We need to work hard at it, girls. That's the fact, is that this is not coming easy to us, but that doesn't mean that we cannot have our families. And I know I'm sounding like a preacher, but I'm only saying this because last month I was just in a horrible place, and I just need to really challenge myself to get back on eating healthy, loving my body, exercising, and also loving myself and so I can get back to that confident woman that I once was before I was struck with infertility. So girls, I leave this with you to just love yourself. And I'm saying this because I need to love myself. And I know you girls are feeling the same way. So that's it. I love you girls. I miss you girls. And I promise I will be updating you girls shortly with random videos with maybe, I'm reading a couple of books, so maybe I'll talk about that. I will give you an update. Oh, actually, I will be doing OPKs this month. I will be tracking my ovulation this month because it's been said that when you do an HSG test, it can clean out the kind of gunk that can be in the tubes, and that some women have actually gotten pregnant after an HSG test. So we will be baby dancing, and I will be tracking my ovulation. So I will probably do a video to show you girls if I have ovulated this month or not. And can I just say how amazing it was to actually see my tubes, and it was just unbelievable. The tubes were just like, the actual tube itself is like just as small as like almost like a string of spaghetti. It's just crazy. So with that, I will let you girls go, and do know that I'm thinking about you all, and I will be answering all your messages and emails very soon. Love you girls, and just love yourself, and remember, we are women. Even though this is hard for us, we are still women, and we need to love ourselves, and we need to love our bodies. Okay, bye. And I'm not going to waste this month as a rest cycle. I'm going to somehow get my ass to Pilates and yoga and get walking, and I'm going to cut out sugar. So, you know what, maybe I'll do like a video where I'm like going through withdrawal, and I'm like, oh my god, girls, help me, I cannot have sugar, because I really need to do this. I got to get myself back on track, because this is going to get us a baby. Alright girls, I love you. Bye.